All right, good evening and happy Saturday, everybody. It is Saturday, February 27th. We're so glad that you are joining us for CA Studios' fourth annual Mike Night. This one a little different, huh, Miss Kathy?
Oh yeah, usually Tyler, we are at Lee's restaurant, our favorite home away from home where we do a lot of our productions. And Lee's is a diner and we squeeze in and we welcome maybe 50 to 75, maybe 100, but we're not going to tell it. Adoring fans. And then we have people come in, usually from the Northeast Louisiana region, and they sing, and we have the best time. But we don't have Lee's, and we all know why. But there's a picture of Lee's. That's what it looks like, people. And it is that good looking and that warm and welcoming. So you want to go there.
Absolutely. And that's not only where we would have all of our Mike Nights, but this is also where many CA Studio productions have been performed. And we're going to actually touch on a few of those throughout the course of the show, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I tell you what, before we go any further, do you think it's necessary for us to introduce Charles Priggen, who is actually responsible for making this production possible? He's the one who's kind of behind the scenes tonight, making everything happen for us.
Yeah, Charles Priggen, tech people are the most important. And there he is, just, descends like on the Starship Enterprise. Okay. So Charles is with us, and we're going to open with something that I thought an artist submitted something called Don't Rain on My Parade. And I thought it was so perfect. Tyler, would you tell us a little bit about this artist that's going to perform for us first?
Absolutely. His name is Eddie Fountain. And to my understanding, Miss Kathy, this was his first CA Studio production, or he did his first CA Studio production with you last year, correct?
Yes. He was in our virtual Zoom Beth, which is, our little title for Macbeth. And Eddie was Banquo. And so that was his first CA Studio production. But Eddie's a regular of theater in our area. He's done so many things.
Absolutely. And I'm going to list off a few of those before we bring him in. He's performed in shows such as Guys and Dolls. He's also performed in Rent. That was a ULM production. Also Godspell, Sister Act, and a plethora of dinner theater shows produced throughout the community of Monroe and also by local theaters and companies as well. And as we just said, recently he performed in CEA Studios production of Zoom Beth, right, Miss Kathy?
Zoom Beth, right. So, Eddie, the reason he's going first is that this song represents so well exactly how all of us performing artists, all the artists felt at the beginning of this pandemic. So let's welcome Eddie Fountain.
Me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's a candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly, I simply got you. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? How much my band out, I'll be my drum. And if I'm found out, you'll turn it back, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hot, sir. I guess I didn't make it, but whether I'm no rose of sheer perfection or a freckle on the nose of life's complexion, the cinder or the shiny apple of its eye, I gotta fly once, I gotta try once, only can die once, right, sir? Life is juicy, juicy, and you see, I gotta have my bite, sir. So get ready for me, love, cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march, my heart's a drummer. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. I'm gonna live and live now. Get what I want, I know how. One roll for the whole shebang. One throw, that bell will go clang. Eye on the target and wham. One shot, one gunshot and bam! Hey, Mr. Arnstein, here I am. How much my band out, I'll beat my drum. turn it back, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it, so get her ready for me, love, cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march my heart to drummer. Nobody, no, nobody is gonna rain on my parade.
That's great.
Did you see that deep breath he had to take at the end? That is not an easy song to sing. And even more than that, no audience to feed off to, and he still killed it, right?
Oh gosh, that is the way Eddie does it. That is the way he does it. Such a gorgeous voice, such an amazing performer. And that song has that, we were all indignant. We were indignant last March. What do we do now?
It's crazy to think too that it's already been a year ago, right? Since all of this really happened. Right.
Absolutely. Now, we wondered who would be allowed to rain on our parade, but we had to figure out how to do the parade somewhere else, So, Tyler, would you like to introduce our special live guest?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will do that. So we want to welcome our live guest tonight from LA, Miss Kathy, the one from the West Coast. They are joining us from Los Angeles tonight. We have Vanessa French and Helene Stewart. And so, guys, tell us about yourselves. And, how do you guys know Miss Kathy? How far do you guys go back?
Oh, wait.
A long time. So when I was about this age, Miss Kathy was my teacher, and inspired me to be an actress and stay in the business, and followed my dream. And here we are all the way in Los Angeles, living the life, and we're still in the business. We're in the business, all of us in the show business.
What's funny is that you say the other LA, and it's so funny because we were driving from Baton Rouge up to Monroe, and we stopped at a store, and I'm chatty, so I'll talk with people. And I talked with this guy at a gas station, and he said, "Well, you're not from around here, are you?" And I said, "No, I'm from New Mexico." And he said, "Well, where's New Mexico?" And I said, "Well, it's next to Texas." And he said, "Well, we're next to Texas." And I said, "Yeah, no, we're on the west side. You're on the east side." And he said, "Well, I'll look into that."
And I bet he did.
His experiences when he's visited me in Louisiana.
I love it. I love Monroe. I love trios. Where else do you get a bar next to a gas station? Have a couple of drinks and then get going.
Yeah. And see, and we met at Lee's that first time. Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We love the art scene in Monroe. It's great, and I'm glad that you guys are really invested in growing it. And so we're happy to help.
You've done a great job. It's a great job. That's what I mean. What you've produced is it's a miracle.
Well, thank you, because if you're in it, you got to do it, and
that's right.
You feel lost and bereft, but you guys had some interesting feelings after being quarantined for a while. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
We did, yeah. We, when you're creative people and you're stuck in a house, in Los Angeles, it's especially tricky.
Yeah,
we could not leave our house.
I cut my hair. I cut her hair. And how did that haircut go?
Bad.
It went bad.
So we decided to put our anxiety into creativity, and we made a video.
Yeah, and speaking of that video, right? There's an interesting story behind the video, right? Your daughter here, she made it, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
She was like, "I want to shoot this," and we couldn't stop her from doing it, so we just edited it together.
Yeah, we had time to kill.
All right, so please welcome our daughter shot this video.
Helene, I need my phone.
No.
I've got a Zoom meeting, seriously.
No.
I've got a Zoom meeting.
No.
Helene.
Oh.
You have mommy's phone. Give me mommy's phone.
No, the thing that I will give you is this.
Never.
Never ever!
Our daughter shot this video. Our daughter shot this video. Our daughter shot this video. We're stuck at home. She stole my phone. Our daughter shot this video. Our daughter shot this video. Our daughter shot this video. She did our hair, told us what to wear. Our daughter shot this video.
Oh, ow.
Daddy cut my hair!
I'm Fantastic Sam.
I'm Miller to Eddie!
I'm so frustrated.
Daddy, where's the flare?
I got all the latest style.
I get all the credit!
Baby style.
Our daughter shot this video. Our daughter shot this video.
I quit drinking. What was I thinking?
Our daughter shot this video.
Oh, no.
Green break!
Ooh, children are a treasure. A treasure.
Bailey the Laley, walking up the trailies, taking apple Bailey, sneaking shot of Bailey, wiping up the Bailey, muzzle for the daily, hating on my nailies, we do it on the Our daughter shot this video. Our daughter shot this video. She's gaining skills against our will. Our daughter shot this video.
Oh yeah!
Our daughter shot this video. Our daughter shot this video.
Yeah.
Ain't no thing, we're quarantine. Our daughter shot this video.
Yeah. Butt talk!
Helene, give me back my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know something? Normally-
we can't rap, but it didn't stop us.
Yeah, and listen, normally people would look at a video like that, right, and be like, how much time do you have on your hands? But after the pandemic first started, everybody had that kind of time on their hands, right?
Tyler?
A lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I've been playing saxophone since high school. So, oh, I should have. Like, if Julia had come out with a saxophone, that would have meant something.
Just play up at the balcony.
I know. I was first chair saxophone, and I had to give it up because in my high school band teacher was very disappointed because I told him I put drama before band. So.
Oh man, you quit on the sax.
I know. I'm just happy to talk about it.
That's great. Now, I did not know. That's a story I did not know, Vanessa. That's a new one for me. Yeah. I remember when you were driving back and forth from Natchitoches to do Juliet.
Yeah, because I try to explain to French how I went to boarding school at one point in my life and how weird that was.
Oh yeah, you threw a shoe at your father.
No, my father threw a shoe at me.
Well, agree to disagree. Yeah. Somebody was trying to get to like school at Natchitoches, and it threw a.
No, people were anyway.
Well, you know, I'm going to be interviewing a lot of people for my memoirs that are going to come out probably next year. And I may not get everybody to approve everything, you know, I may just be doing, but we'll see. All right. So Vanessa, your work, you've done a couple of pandemic, like at least one full musical virtual.
Yes, I premiered 2 musicals online this year, which I did not expect to do, but the art must live on, and one of which was a one-man musical that took place in apartments, so that made sense. The other was a rewrite of a musical I did that was a 10-person musical, and that was a challenging experience, but we pulled it off to the best of our ability in this day and age. So, that was a 10-person musical about a serial killer called H.H. Holmes, entitled Deadly. Oh, that's my daughter. Once again, anyway. So we did 2 musicals in the age of COVID. It was crazy. Well,
I enjoyed both of them very much. And I hope we get a chance, to see that work. I hope you get a chance to see some of your work here. Here meaning the LA and the Deep South. That's right. So
it is definitely one of my hopes to come back home and to, have some of my work back in where I began. So
That would be great. That would be great. So look for the memoir. All right, Tyler, ready to introduce our next guest?
All right, y'all, you guys are ready to move it along?
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, it's time to bring us back home here tonight. Our next guest is a University of Louisiana Monroe alumni with ULM VAPA performance credits, including roles in Phantom of the Opera, Candide, and Bye Bye Birdie, which I had the pleasure of going to see some years back. I guess that's been a few years now, and he had a lot of scene-stealing moments in it. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do for us tonight. He recently performed as Macduff, Miss Kathy, in CA Studios' production of Shakespeare's Macbeth, right?
Right, Zoombeth. Let's keep it on Zoombeth. Right, yeah. So, and by the way, you can see that on the YouTube channel, but we'll talk about that later. So here's Peyton Churchwell, and he's performing Benedict in Much Ado About Nothing. And I love it because we all had such injured feelings. Listen for the line, duller than a great thaw. Here's Peyton.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak, but with one green leaf on it, would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, hurling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me. I stood there like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there would be no living near her. She would infect the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules have turned spit. Yeah, and have cleft his club to make the fire, too. Come, talk not of her. You will find her, the infernal Ate, in good apparel. I would to God, some scholar would conjure her, for certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell than in a sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follow her.
So, Miss Kathy, what was the line from that monologue that you were really wanting us to pay special attention to?
Okay, duller than a great thaw. And the reason, of course, was that we had snowmageddon here in the Northeast Louisiana area. And of course, in Texas and all across the South, we were snowed in. I didn't go out of my house for 7 days. It was terrible. As you know, Tyler, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't able to leave the house until this time last week, right? Until the weekend.
And so duller, that just hit me. All right, what can be duller? What can be more boring than watching snow or ice thaw? Well, that line, you know, Shakespeare's going to get it. So, yeah. And Tyler, in all, did you ever think that we're going through the stages of grief while we were in the pandemic and we were thinking about losing what we would love to do, our art form, you know, denial, anger, bargaining, depression. I don't think I've gotten to acceptance yet.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and not to get too deep here because this is a sort of like an entertainment night, right? But I mean, really, the pandemic gave us so much time to really think about things that maybe we didn't have a chance to think about because everything literally stopped. So it just gives you time to just sit back and reflect on things and kind of come to a sense of clarity of things. And hopefully that will help all of us once things return to normal. But tonight we're going to go ahead and keep things moving. We had Peyton Churchwell there, who is a ULM alumni, but we also have a Louisiana Tech College freshman from the College of Music Education who is singing rather during the pandemic because he misses his loved ones while in college, and this sort of keeps him connected to that normalcy that he once had before the pandemic. But he also realizes that feeling these feelings of sadness and depression and things like that isn't so bad because it's all a part of life. And of course, we couldn't agree with that more, right, Miss Kathy?
Right. So This is Christian Bryant, whom we love and know well, right, Tyler? And he is singing Hard Sometimes by Rule.
Waking up my mind, I'm just trying to kill the silence. Ripping off the blinds, I'm just trying to let some light in. I've been on the road, I've been missing home. See it on my phone that the world back there keeps spinning around without me. Waking up my mind, ripping off the blinds. Oh, I try to be happy, but it's hard sometimes. But life just seems to happen right before my eyes. 'Cause I feel like I'm not there, 'cause my head is up somewhere, far away from all my friends. I just want that back again. Oh, I try to be happy, but it's hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes. When I come off cold, I'm not doing it on purpose. You caught me in a hole that I dig for myself when I'm nervous. Nah, nah, nah. I've been on the road, I've been missing home, seeing on my phone that my friends back there got inside jokes without me. No, don't mean to come off cold, I don't wanna be alone. Oh, I try to be happy, but it's hard sometimes. But life just seems to happen right before my eyes. 'Cause I feel like I'm not there, 'cause my head is up somewhere, far away from all my friends. I just want that back again. Oh, I try to be happy, but it's hard sometimes. I don't feel like myself and I don't love being selfish. Sometimes the pressure gets the best of me. Oh, I try to be happy, but it's hard sometimes. But life just seems to happen right before my eyes. It's just passing by, far away from all my friends. I just want that back again. Oh, I try to be happy, but it's hard sometimes. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's hard sometimes. Thank you.
Christian, that was so great. Now, you know about Christian Tyler, you know about him, that he is our regular. He's been in Shakespeare with us. He's come to every open mic and brought his family. Gosh, we love him. And we're anxious to get back on live stage with him. But right now, you guys have got to meet a very special individual. Charles. So there, yeah. And there's our pandemic friend right there.
No.
So his name is Charles Alex Pridgeon, and he is a star, not just of tomorrow, but of today.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Miss Kathy, is that all I see is a pat of butter, and I'm gonna eat that baby.
And I got a feeling he might be the one who's actually pulling all the strings tonight, right?
That's what I think. That's what I think. Tyler, you're right. I'm gonna eat that baby. That baby is just a little pat of butter. I just see little Winston Churchill, and I'm gonna go grab him and.
I know. So about this baby, when you watch Zumbeth on the CA Classic YouTube channel, you will hear him because he is so in the Scottish lady's lap, chiming in. So you gotta hear. You gotta hear Cap. You gotta hear it. Thank you. Good night, Cap. Party is
Oh, go to bed, buddy. Go to bed.
No.
Oh, go to bed.
Oh, he kept looking up at me like, I'm not supposed to be up.
Right.
I know. So Vanessa, we're going to bring you guys on to talk about our next performers and the fortune we've had with online work.
We have a person from Los Angeles, apparently, Ann Brown, and a crew from LA. So that's pretty exciting. So is that what we're talking about?
Actually, we're gonna bring them in a little bit later on.
Okay.
You know how LA traffic is. I mean, the LA on the West Coast.
Lots going on LA.
LA traffic. So they're kind of stuck in LA traffic. But we do have somebody from New Mexico. So
my gosh!
Look up at Ron Newman. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Ron Newman.
A homeboy?
He's a homeboy. He's a New Mexico person.
He's from New Mexico. Yeah. And the interesting thing about Ron Newman is that he has CA studio roots as well.
What?
From way back at the beginning of the studio in 2009. So he played for Mother Goose Tales and made Mother Goose Tales a really beautiful adventure when we were going on all these tours to Lake Providence and to all the libraries. Ron made it happen. Yeah. And he also played for our Gilbert and Sullivan's Pirates of Penzance. So
Ron Newman. I see Ron Newman. Look.
Yeah, right. So
he's doing At the End of the Road.
Mm-hmm.
He's got original music that can be found at ronpiano.com. Oh, this is great. I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm from Albuquerque, Ron Newman.
I know.
You rip it.
He's performed with some of the biggest names in souls and blues, including Stevie Wonder, Al Green, and Reggie.
Yeah. Wait. We're getting ahead of ourselves now. Let's go. How do I say that word, Charles? All right.
The pianist.
I'm going to say pianist. Yeah, because I got all Southern on Charles the other day, and he's never let me forget it that I said it wrong, but I'm not going to say it the way I said it. Okay? I will always be there. So, all right, everybody. So we'll welcome Ron Newman at the end of the road.
Soon I'll travel over. Soon I'll reach the end. Did I do my very best? Will I have regrets? Will At the end of the road, it's a new day, and I'll walk all the hill out of sight. And they say that my friends, they will come out to meet me out beyond wrong and right. In the sunlight above are the others who have gone all the way to the end. And they say that this road, that this long, lonely highway takes me back home again. And at the end, they say there's a river in the distance, a deep blue sea. And they say there's a boat there that's waiting to take me back where I long to be. And at the end of this long, lonely highway, when I walk all the hill out of sight, don't you say that I never will see you again, my friend. I'll be on wrong and right. I'll be on wrong and right.
All right, everybody, let's give it
Yeah,
up for
wow.
Lagniappe.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, and he had all the visuals to go along with the music too. For those of you who enjoyed that, as Vanessa said when she was introducing him a few minutes ago, he makes his own original music. And if you want to follow him, you can find more original music by following him at ronpiano.com. That's RONpiano.com. Miss Kathy, take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, wasn't that luscious? Wasn't that a beautiful singer? Wasn't that? Yeah. And so our next performer, tell us about our next performer.
All right. What we have is Ricky White, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Ricky White is going to say, I still love you.
Mm-hmm.
And the great thing, the thing that I miss the most about just life being open is karaoke and singing it and hearing people sing it. And it like, I didn't care if they sang it poorly or well. I just wanted to, you know, sit in a bar and see somebody sing.
Yeah.
And so the great thing is that now we have somebody who's really gifted, Ricky White, who's going to sing for us. And I am looking forward to that because I've missed that. I've really missed that.
All right. So here's
Oh, baby. Ooh, yeah. If you can't go away and you have to hurry, baby, I
still love you. When we grow old, I just love you some more. 'Cause that's the way the love goes. I'm so blessed, baby, to have someone like you. Yeah, it's so sweet, it's so warm. Do you love so true? Girl, I never thought, baby, I would have, girl, a woman like you in my life, girl. I thank God, baby, every day for a woman like you. Oh, girl. So if you can't go away and you have to agree, maybe I still love you. Oh, yes, I will. When we grow old, I just love you some more. 'Cause that's the way love goes. If we live for 100 years, I give you kind of love that you can feel. I make all of your dreams, girl, come true. Yeah. You're my friend, you're my lover. Yeah. Girl, you're everything I need. I thank God every day. I love you, honey, I love you. You can't go away, and you have to wait. Maybe I still love you. Oh, yes, I will. When we grow old, I just love you some more. 'Cause that's the way love goes. Oh, baby. Oh, if you came a little way, baby, and you had to agree, honey, I still love you. Oh, yes, I will. When we grow old, I just love you some more. That's the way love goes. Oh, baby.
Wow, Ricky, that is beautiful. And just want to be sure, Ricky, this is the first time you've come out for open mic. Your wife Pauline told me that she found the notice while holding her grandbaby and scrolling, and the grandbaby lost it, and we almost lost you, and we were glad we did not. You make sure and come out for the open mics that we're going to have. Hopefully, Tyler Smith, we were talking today about having an open mic, a regular kind, in our regular slot in August. Wouldn't that be fun?
I think it would be great. And hopefully things are well enough, fingers crossed, that we can return to Leesville account. But if not, we can just do it the way we're doing it tonight.
Oh yeah, because this is great. This is so much fun.
Where do I go to get a Ricky White T-shirt?
Well, I will find out for you, because he's got one, because he is known as the entertainer, and it's great. He's got some great photos. Some of them were on my Facebook group. I had so much fun receiving still pics and headshots of people to put up there. So thank you, Ricky. So Tyler, introduce our next one.
Yes, we are keeping the music going tonight. Our next guest is very well known throughout Northeast Louisiana. He's a musician. He's also a music teacher and an award-winning screenwriter. I've been seeing updates about all of the awards he's been winning at these film festivals with his scripts. Would have loved if he could have joined us tonight so we could have picked his brain a little bit more about his script writing. But he is a guitar piano teacher and a public radio show host and gives
Amazing.
us...
Yeah,
giving us an original love song here tonight. Here is Josh Madden with a song called Halfway Cross My Mind.
If you're looking for her, she's halfway across my mind. The roads are clear and the trip is going fine. She's passing through and stopped to say goodbye. If you're looking for her, she's halfway across my mind. The train to Jackson's running right on time. The lonesome sound always gets me high, like a shot of memories running through my veins. I close my eyes and I feel it all again. Fingertips would dance inside my hand. She softly laughed when I said, do that again. Lying out at night with our backs upon the grass. She was a shooting star that flew by way too fast. So if you're looking for her, she's halfway across my mind. Roads are clear and the trip is going fine. She's passing through the stop to say goodbye. So if you're looking for her, she's halfway across my mind. If you're looking for her, she's halfway across my mind.
Wow. Wow, Josh, that was so gorgeous. And I loved it. I didn't know if Josh was too busy to contribute, but when he contributed this, I couldn't help but ask him about that phrase, halfway across my mind. Where did that come from? And he told me a good story about process. He said, well, I was in the other room listening to the radio and I heard this lyric. I was maybe listening to Leon Russell, and I had a lyric that was like, that I thought was halfway across my mind. And so I went back to check on it, and turns out it wasn't that at all. But I thought, that's a great lyric. So Josh says, I sat down and wrote the song in 10 or 15 minutes. That's great, isn't it? Yeah. And I couldn't help but think of you, Vanessa, because I thought, where in the world do your ideas come from? You know, where did the ideas come from?
If we had a world of YouTube and, like being able to easily assimilate music and video, in my day, it would have been a different experience for me. But I'm doing okay. Like, we're in Los Angeles doing our deal.
Yeah.
But it's all about creativity at the end of the day, and I'm really happy that you guys are finding your muse and you're doing it where you are, and I'm so excited to be part of this experience and seeing the creativity coming out of Monroe right now.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know about other people, but back in the summertime, I was writing things in fits of anger. I was writing things that turned into something else, and I kept them. They're not all produced. One of them is, and you'll see it. God bless you all you children. We'll see it later. But creativity has to go somewhere. So it's very delightful to get with fellow artists
You know,
One of the things I thought was really interesting was that he wrote the song in only 15 minutes. And how many stories do we always hear about people in the music industry? Some of their biggest hits were made within a matter of minutes.
In a minute, yeah, Tyler, that's exactly it. Like somebody wrote something in 15 minutes, and you're like, "Oh, that's my favorite thing." And then there are other people that are like, "Oh, it took 9 years to write this song," and you're like, "Oh, I kind of like it."
I know. We can never predict, what's going to really hit.
Yeah, you don't know what's happening.
You just don't know. You just don't know. Well, guys, the next two performers. This is fun. Tyler Smith, Aubrey Skinner from Ruston.
Yes.
And Aubrey is a CA Studio regular. Now, Ben McQuillan has not performed for CA yet. We're so happy to have him tonight, but they did. They did songs that they submitted and said, okay, now we want these two back to back because they go together, Miss Kathy. And I said, well, yeah, okay, let's try it back.
Double album. It's a double album, Miss Kathy.
Yeah, right.
Get used to it.
Yeah. So welcome, just Aubrey Skinner and then Ben McQuillan. Aubrey's first, and hers is Taylor the Latte Boy. And then Ben follows with rebuttal to Taylor the Latte Boy.
I love Taylor the Latte Boy. So
I like this already.
All right. It's very good. So y'all, let's give them a listen.
There's a boy who works at Starbucks who is very inspirational. He is very inspirational because of many things. I come in at 8:11 and he smiles and says, how are you? When he smiles and says, how are you? I could swear my heart grows wings. So today at 8:11, I decided I should meet him. I decided I should meet him in a proper formal way. So today at 8:11, when he smiled and said, how are you? I said, fine, and my name's Aubrey. And he softly answered, hey. And I said, my name is Aubrey, and thank you for the extra phone. He said his name was Taylor, which provides the inspiration for this poem. Taylor, the latte boy, bring me Java, bring me joy. Oh, Taylor, the latte boy, I love him, I love him, I love him. So I'd like to get my nerve up to recite my poem musical. And he would like the fact it's musical because he plays guitar. See, today at 8:11, Taylor told me he was playing in a band down in the village, in the basement of a bar. And he smoothly flipped the lever to prepare my double latte. But for me, he made it triple, and he didn't think I knew. But I saw him flip the lever, and for me, he made it triple. And I knew that triple latte meant that Taylor loved me too. I said, what time are you playing? And thank you for the extra steam. He said, keep the 355 because this triple latte was on him. Taylor, the latte boy, bring me Java, bring me joy. Oh, Taylor, the latte boy, I love him, I love him, I love him. I used to be the kind of girl who'd run when love rushed toward her. But finally a voice whispered, love can be yours if you step up to the counter and order. Taylor, the latte boy, bring me Java, bring me joy. Oh, Taylor, the latte boy, I love him, love him, I love him. In so many years my heart has waited. Who'd have thought that love would be so caffeinated? Taylor, the latte boy. I love him, I love him, I love him. I love him. I love him. I love him.
There's a girl who comes to Starbucks, and I think she has a crush on me. In fact, I know she has a crush on me, 'cause it's too big to ignore. She comes in here every morning at exactly 8:11. When the clock says 8:11, she comes walking through that door. And then one fateful morning, as she made her usual entrance, I could tell that she was nervous, like she had something to say. So I smoothly flipped the lever to prepare her double latte, and she said her name was Aubrey, and I came back with a hey. And I told her my name's Taylor, and here's a little extra foam. When she left, I cleaned her table, and I found a folded napkin with this poem. Taylor, the latte boy, bring me Java, bring me joy. Oh, Taylor, the latte boy, I love him, I love him, I love him. So I should have got my nerve up and just said I wasn't interested. But since she was clearly interested, it all got out of hand. 'Cause before I found her poem, we had had this conversation. I had told her I was playing in the village with my band. When I walked in Friday evening to our gig in Arthur's basement, I saw Aubrey in the front row, and I heard her scream my name. Then my friend said, man, she's crazy. She's been here since 7:30, and she said that she's your girlfriend, and she's really glad she came. Then when our gig was over, she followed me the whole way home. As I ran and tried to lose her, I composed another version of this poem. Aubrey, the psycho chick, you're a stalker and you're sick. Oh, Aubrey, the psycho chick, you scare me, you scare me, you scare me. I used to be the kind of guy who never was rude or doubting. But now I've got this lunatic in my life. Every night now at my window, she's shouting, Taylor, the latte boy, go away, I'm not your toy. Taylor, the latte boy, is calling the police. Many a girl has let me court her, but I've never needed a restraining order. Aubrey, come find me now. I'm transferring to a new Starbucks. There's 20 on each block, so good luck.
And we'll never think about Starbucks the same after seeing that, right?
I would give a standing ovation if I was wearing pants.
Oh, man.
Oh man, Aubrey and Ben, you couldn't
Wonderful.
see us. But we laughed so hard during that whole thing. That was great job, guys. I just gotta say, Aubrey, shout out to Aubrey for her appearances in CA Studios, one of the CA Studios virtual theater shows, the 12-Pound Look, that is on the Classic CA YouTube channel. And Ben, Tyler, talk about Ben a little.
Absolutely. So Ben is 28 years old, Miss Kathy. He also went to ULM. I was in a couple of productions with Ben as well. Very talented, and he's performed, as I said, at ULM, but also Strauss Theater, and now, of course, the CA Studio, making his debut at CA Studio in tonight's virtual event. And we're so excited to have him. And Aubrey and Ben have often appeared together, not just tonight, and they're planning on doing more performances with each other in the future. So we're looking forward to seeing that.
That sounds so good. That sounds good. Now, all right, Vanessa and French, you get to talk about the next performance, because I understand that you were both in The Importance of Being Earnest.
We were in separate productions. I also have to, make sure that all y'all know that, Miss Kathy is my teacher, and I am here because of her, and I'm a professional actor because of everything she taught me, and I just want to put that out there. Now I'm in LA doing my thing because of everything Miss Kathy taught me. Okay. So just want to say that. But yes, one of my first professional equity gigs, I played Gwendolyn, Importance of Being Earnest. And my favorite line was it's not too long, if you're not too long, I'll wait for you the rest of my life.
Yeah. And I played Algernon, and my favorite thing was eating cucumber sandwiches on stage.
That was one of the
I bet it was. I hope they were delicious and not stale.
It was borderline delicious. It was West Texas.
That's always the thing, people making the cucumber sandwiches backstage for The Importance of Being Earnest.
Yeah, and we're in West Texas, and so the cucumber sandwiches are not that great.
But the show is. The show is.
Yeah, the show is solid.
All right, then. Remember Kirsten.
Kirsten Chris. Now, is she related to the person that played my double?
Right. Her sister is, oh gosh, now Kirsten's going to get me if she's watching, because I have spaced out on Caitlin. It's Caitlin Curtis.
Caitlin.
Yeah, Caitlin. Yeah.
My double was Juliet. The first time I ever did Shakespeare.
Yeah, we're doubles. Yeah. Right. You were. She was very tall. She was very tall, and you were fairly short.
Yeah, well, we had the tall cast and the short cast.
But Caitlin was also my double for Algernon.
Right. And
what happened, Kathy?
The next performance comes from Caitlin Curtis and her friend Aiden Wright. They are now in Arlington, Texas, and they do a lot in theater in the Metroplex there. And so, Caitlin jokes that she was age 6 when she appeared in Romeo and Juliet in a very big role.
That's right.
That same Romeo.
Which was actually the first show of me at the first show I was in at the Little Theater or Young Troupe, where I first met Vanessa and Caitlin.
All right.
94.
I'll tell you this. I one of my first jobs was playing Paris in Romeo and Juliet, and the director told me, "Look, everyone's going to hate you."
Right. But Paris, but Paris has to be so good looking, French.
Yeah.
Paris has to rock our song.
Well, French, how old were you when the director told you that everyone was going to hate you?
I was probably about 21.
Okay, all right. So you were old enough to take something like that then.
Yeah, Tyler, I was hateable though. If I'm being honest.
He got paid to be hateable.
Yeah, I got paid to be hateable.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
It was.
All right, guys. So Kirsten and Aiden got busy during Snowmageddon, which was just last week. And Kirsten and Aiden wrote this fan appreciation of the importance of being earnest. and they did it on Zoom Theater. So here we go with Kirsten and Aiden in the importance of being friends.
I was told you expected me on Zoom, Dr. Chasuble. I've been waiting for you for an hour and 3/4. Dr. Chasuble, Dr. Chasuble, I cannot hear you in the slightest degree.
Can you hear me now, Miss Prism?
Yes, I can hear you quite well. It seems you have found the appropriate button at long last.
Oh, yeah. And how are you this morning, Miss Prism? You are, I trust, well? Though, in fact, I cannot see you. Perhaps if you would place a light, like Eos herself, upon your face, I could then see you.
Oh, pardon me. Allow me but a moment to correct the obscurity. Oh. Cecily, will you be a dear and come give me a hand? I'm striving to have a Zoom meeting with the dear rector. Thank you, my dear. Also, Cecily, you'll read your political economy in the chapter on the fall of the rupee, you may admit. It is somewhat too sensational. Even these metallic problems have their melodramatic side.
Ah, what a help that dear child is. I myself have no one to instruct me on the way of Zoom calls.
You are too much alone, dear Dr. Chasuble. You should get married. A misanthrope, I understand. A womanthrope, never.
Believe me, I do not deserve so nihilistic a phrase. The precepts, as well as the practice of the primitive church, was distinctly against matrimony.
That is obviously the reason why the primitive church has not lasted up to the present day. And you do not seem to realize, dear doctor, that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent public temptation. Men should be more careful. This very celibacy leads weaker vessels astray.
But is not a man equally attractive when married?
No married man is ever attractive except to his wife.
And often I'm told not even to her.
That depends on the intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can always be depended on. Ripeness can be trusted. Young women are green. I spoke horticulturally. My metaphor was drawn from fruits. Cecily, surely such an utilitarian occupation as the watering of flowers is rather Moulton's job and not yours, especially at a moment when intellectual pleasures await you. Your political economy is on the table. Pray open it to page 15.
I hope your charge has not been intensive.
He has been somewhat.
That is strange. Were I fortunate enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon your lips. I spoke metaphorically. My metaphor was drawn from bees. Mr. Worthing, I suppose, has not returned from town yet.
Oh, we do not expect him till Monday afternoon.
Ah, yes. He usually likes to spend his Sunday in London. He's not one of those whose sole aim is enjoyment, as by all accounts his unfortunate younger brother seems to be.
Cecily! I am surprised at you!
But I must not disturb Egeria and her pupil any longer.
Egeria? My name is Letitia, Doctor.
A classical illusion merely, drawn from the pagan authors. I shall see you both, no doubt, at evensong.
I should be remiss if allowed to neglect attending. Goodbye, dear Doctor.
Oh, please, call me Canon, Letitia.
Goodbye, dear Canon.
Well, goodbye, Letitia.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I'm the host.
So I'm gonna hold on. There you are. No, go ahead.
All right then. I love the importance of being earnest and Aiden, right. That is such a clever delivery and such a clever writing based on that classic show. Love that show. Now, gosh, I'm tongue tied, and it's because I haven't taken water. This is water, and I'm taking a drink of it right now. So Tyler Smith, you're gonna come on and help pull me out of my tongue tiedness.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Miss Kathy. You're all alone. You're alone.
Wait a minute. That is not what you're making the big bucks.
So here's what I will help. Here's how I will help you out. The next performance involves this guy down here on the bottom left, right?
Yes. And now I'm not tongue tied anymore because I could not forget this story about Laura Ulrich, who is our Scottish lady, right? And who is the mother of dear Alex Pridgeon, the baby that you just saw. There he is. And he's still awake.
I eat that baby.
So I first met Laura when she was about 6 or 7 in the 90s. And she was playing the Blue Fairy in Pinocchio. And we costumed her so she could ride on her daddy's shoulder. And have a shiny blue gown all the way down to the floor. She ruled it. She just, and hundreds of roles later, that's Laura Ulrich.
Yeah, so, a lot of babies, Miss Kathy.
Yeah, I know. So Tyler, tell us about Charles.
Charles Pridgeon, he has an extensive resume here too, Miss Kathy, which I'm sure you're already aware of. He operates 4 music companies within his day job as a music instrument manufacturer for BAC Musical Instruments. He also runs his own entertainment company. It's called Lagniappe Entertainment. That includes DJing, karaoke, dinner theater production, trivia hosting, and a film production as well. And he's also music director for St. Margaret's Episcopal in Lawrence, Kansas. And his most recent theater credit includes The Scottish Lord and Macbeth. And now Charles and Laura both collaborate each day of the week in Charles Alex Pridgeon. Is he still there on your lap there, Charles?
Oh, yeah. And in this video, he's in Laura's belly.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
So without further ado, here is Laura Ulrich and Charles Pridgeon with Here's to Love.
Give me 1 second. Having some technical difficulties here.
It's the baby. So you never go on stage. The thing is, you never go on stage with babies or dogs because nobody's ever going to be able to remember anything else. So that could be what's going wrong here.
You gotta blame that baby.
I know, right? Because he can't defend himself.
That's right. Yeah. I think you got it. Oh, here we go. Don't worry. Give me a second. I'll fill this out.
All right. So here's where we tap dance, y'all. You know that horrible moment on stage when somebody's...
You're good at that, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Hey, can I tell you a quick story?
Oh, here comes French.
Vanessa and I, when we were working on Stoneface, we used to have a place that was a bar that was across the alley, and we called it Extreme Stage Left. And when things went bad, you would find us at Extreme Stage Left.
That was more you than me.
But you were causing extreme stage left. Look, but at one point I was at Extreme Stage Left and I'm having a drink and I'm like, tech is going bad and it's all gone south. And the guy who was basically the waiter told me, "Hey, go back to your wife. Just like listen to your wife." And then I did.
If you contextualize this, this is a Pasadena Playhouse is a 700-seat house.
Yeah.
It's really big. Yeah, so we grew a tiny show from a 99-seat house to a 700-seat house, and we wound up.
Yeah, and we were there, and then but at a certain point, you would always go to extreme stage left because you were like, you were upset or things were going bad, and suddenly a guy would say like, "Oh, hey, just go back to work," and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I get it," and then you go back to work. You know, from extreme stage left.
Well, sometimes tech goes bad. 10 out of 12's they're the worst.
Yeah.
Everyone can agree, but 10 out of 12. Nobody wants to be in 10 out of 12.
Nobody. 10 and 12, Lord. All right.
All right, let's see if I can do this.
You got it?
Here we go.
Space.
All right, go ahead. We'll come back to that one.
So the poetic justice here, Charles, the poetry of all this is that everybody understands that there's a heck of a lot of work that goes on in the background. Yeah. And so, and the name of the song that you guys are going to do is Here's to Love. So it's a great song to come back to whenever we can come back to it. Okay.
Hold on. One last time. Never mind.
All right.
Go on to the next one. I'll come back. I'll figure out what's going on with this.
So we, I really wanted a chance to highlight a very important couple of organizations that are doing a collaboration this month. This is Black History Month, and there are two organizations that are getting together, and it's called the Massar Museum of Art. And then I'm going to read the name of this, Tyler Smith, because it is long, but it's the Northeast Louisiana Delta African American Heritage Museum. And they're doing a collaboration that will feature the 58. And so what you're going to see is I went out to the Heritage Museum and got a little bit of the action in getting the jury competition up. And you'll see some works that they are putting on the walls. And you'll also hear a beautiful poem by Elizabeth Alexander that's being delivered by Dr. Leonard Clark. So here we go for From Tragedy, Collaboration.
Triplets right here. He has quite a few paintings, and then he also has a series of the breast cancer awareness. A lot of them are in pink. Of course, who he's learned under is Don Cincone, who I think is a great master of himself. You know, his art is world renowned all over the place. A lot of movie stars and actors and actresses have his paintings. So these are some of his paintings here, as you can tell. Even this shape of faces that you see a lot, he's the one who reinstituted those faces, and you see them now on commercials and TV and everything else. But he took that off, I think, a 13th century artist. So these are his paintings. We'll have all of these on display also during this time. It is called the Shackles 400 series, commemorating the 400 years African Americans have been here in America.
The Shackles 400 series.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
I know there's something better down the road. We need to find a place where we are safe. We walk into that which we cannot see. Say it plain, that many have died for this day. Sing the names of the dead who brought us here, who laid the train tracks, raised the bridges, picked the cotton and the lettuce, built brick by brick the glittering edifices. They would then keep clean and work inside. Praise song for struggle, praise song for the day. What if the mightiest word is love? Love beyond marital, filial, national. Love that casts a widening pool of light. Love with no need to preempt grievance. In today's sharp sparkle, this winter air, anything can be made. Any sentence begun. On the brink, on the brim, on the cusp, praise song for walking forward in that light. Elizabeth Alexander.
All right, so Charles, we're gonna
Hold
we're
on,
gonna
it's playing
go.
for some reason. Hold on.
Are you ready with "Here's to Love"? That's perfect.
The topic I dig the most.
Catch, let me dust off my loving cup.
Hey bartender, fill her up.
Look how the neon starts to flicker.
Love's like a shot, but works much quicker.
And you're a man who can hold his liquor.
Cheers, here's to love.
I'm an old-fashioned and you're the cherry.
I've got a thirst that's legendary.
That's why I fired your secretary.
Cheers, here's to love. Life's a martini.
And you're the shaker.
And baby, I've sure packed a punch.
Hey, you make Dean Martin look like a Quaker.
But now it's only you for dinner
Breakfast
and lunch. I hear the march that's calling for us.
We'll walk down the aisle to an angel's chorus.
I'll be your rock if you'll be my Doris. Sweet heavens above.
Why is the waiter smiling at us?
He knows what we're thinking of. Oh, can the tears, cheers, baby, here's to love.
You got the lips to wet my whistle.
If that doesn't get you, maybe this will.
Cupid just launched a guided missile.
Cheers, here's to love.
Your eyes are so intoxicating.
Bottoms up, babe, let's get to mating.
I bet it bears reiterating.
Cheers, here's to love. Though it ain't New Year's, pop the champagne. Then let's take a spin on the floor. Your moves are good.
I'm feeling no pain.
So let's pay the check and slip out the back door. We took Manhattan without the bitters. We're staying put, last calls for quitters. Soon it will be just babysitters. 'Cause this hawk's now we're done. Baby, the cab is blowing its horn.
But I can't find my hat in my glove.
Oh, can the tears, cheers, baby, here's to love. Here's mud in your eye.
Here's a looking at you, kid.
Here, this will put hair on your chest. Not that I would want that. Here's to love.
I love that look on Laura's face, that last line. Charles, good recovery. And look, Yeah, and the Elizabeth Alexander poem that Leonard Clark just did said the greatest. What if the greatest thing is love? And so, how poetic! You're in with Here's Love, right?
Yeah.
All right. Good for you. Good recovery. So, Tyler, tell us about our next performer.
Yes, Peyton Ballou, he is a CA Studio regular. He's participated in just about all of our CA Studio mic nights that we've had over the past few years. And I know he's been in a CA Studio production. I believe it was Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, right, Miss Kathy?
Right. Yes.
Absolutely. So he credits George Rodriguez and his Blue Dog paintings as a major influence along with the city of New Orleans. And his performance shows that defiance and passion that keeps all of us going. So without further ado, here is Peyton Ballou surrounded by his artwork with I Am an Artist.
I am an artist. I am a modern artist. I know what it is to see and hear what others don't, and to call attention. I don't remember when art first tried to speak through me, just that it did speak and continues whether I want it to or not. Art alternately frees and fillets my soul. I have no choice whether or not to show myself as seen in art's prism to you. I draw inspiration from blue dogs, red flowers, multi-beads, stories sad and silly. Once I told of an elephant named Shirley. I layer squares and shapes into towns that tell a larger truth than a map. I like radical pairings, things that don't go together, things that shock and delight, like the city of New Orleans. Here's the main thing. Whether or not you are listening, whether or not you are understanding, I have no choice but to speak.
No.
I have no choice but to speak. I love that. Peyton Ballou, thank you so much for making us remember why we are artists, because that's true about every kind of artist, visual or not. Now, guys, about Shirley the elephant, a famous figure in our war around here, and Shirley passed away just recently, and we saw it on the news. So glad you mentioned that, Peyton. And thank you again for I Am an Artist. Now, the next performer is Everett Hibner. And Everett has a great original song. And I have to tell you, Everett, I know you're listening and your family. I cried when I first heard this song in a good way. It was all in a good way. And I found out the story behind this song was about Everett's grandmother who was ill. And Everett was visiting her, and the family knew that it would not be long that the grandmother would be there. And Everett had the chance to tell his grandmother, sing this original song for his grandmother. And his grandmother said, "That's perfect. Where did you find it?" And Everett told me that he had the pleasure of saying, "I wrote it especially for you." And so this is how Everett remember the last visit with his grandmother. Here's Everett with Grow.
It's that time of year again. The leaves, they'll change and start to fall. I feel the coming of the end,
but I'll hold tight to what you've shown. And I'll grow for you, I'll grow. I'll grow, 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 I'll grow. There's a fear of the unknown. There's a fear of growing old. Fear being buried in the snow as the winter winds they blow and blow. And I'll grow for you, I'll grow through that snow. I'll grow, grow, grow. I'll grow. Guide me on my way. I'll hold tight to what you said. Know that you'll always stay in my heart every single day. And I hear you say, just grow, go and grow, 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 I'll grow. It's that time of year again. Gray days, they'll melt under the new sun. I will not fear growing old now that you've shown me all you know. And I'll grow for you, I'll grow through that snow. I'll grow, 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 I'll grow for you, I'll grow, 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 I'll grow for you, I'll grow.
Love those lines.
Absolutely.
So Vanessa,
Amazing.
you had a chance to meet Everett, you guys.
Yeah, I'm so lucky. You know, like I love when anybody comes from Monroe or the your studio to sort of expand themselves. And I'm always here. You know, I live now in Los Angeles, having come from Monroe, but like I also run a theater company now in Los Angeles, and anytime anybody comes here, I'm like, come to me, to help you. And I did meet Everett, and he's very talented, and I'm trying to direct people to how they should audition, where they should go, and like what a talent! Oh my goodness! Like he's like now on Spotify, and you can go to his like Spotify channel at Everett Hibner Music. And I would completely endorse it. Oh my goodness, like what a talent. And so anybody that comes here to LA, like from your studio, like come to me and I will try to welcome you into my theater company, but also try to help you, like show you where to go. Like my theater company in Los Angeles is Sacred Fools. I'm artistic director right now at Sacred Fools Theater Company. So
Sacred Fools has such an interesting mode of getting new work into action. I'd love to hear about it at another time.
Different channel.
have
But,
a time to talk about that, but it is a wonderful, wonderful program. So excited y'all got contact. I think that, let's see, now we're talking, Tyler, I think we're going to introduce the next section, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, and hard to believe that it's already been a couple of years since this production that we're about to talk about. Our next performance is a snippet from CA Studio Archives. It's from the classic A Doll's House, first written by Henrik Ibsen in the 1880s. Not the 1980s, the 1880s. The famous play about the role of women in society has received a lot of production in plays and movies ever since it first went into production. And this production in particular is from CA Studio and co-presented by the Biedenhauer Museum and Gardens, filmed by Lucy Brown of True Vibe Productions. That was August 2019, Miss Kathy, in the Fountain Room.
I know, it seems like just yesterday. And Lucy did such a lovely job of filming the whole production. And it's going to show on that CA Studio Classic CA YouTube channel on March 7th. The whole show is going to be on that evening. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So the clip that we're getting ready to see, Miss Kathy, and correct me if I'm wrong. So this is a scene with Anne Brown and Sam Coleman, right? As Torvald. Sam is playing Torvald and Anne Brown is Nora, correct?
Right. It's one of the pivotal scenes. So let's see this great scene.
There's another matter to be settled first. First, I must try to educate myself. And you are not the man to help me in that. I must stand about it quite alone. Torvald, that is why I am now leaving you.
Nora, you mean to say?
I need to stand alone in order to learn myself and my surroundings. I am leaving at once. Christina will take me in.
Nora, you're mad. I shall not allow it. I forbid it.
There's no use your forbidding me anything, Torvald. I will take only what is mine, and from you I will accept nothing either now or afterwards.
Nora, my God.
Tomorrow I shall go home.
How?
I mean to what was my home. There I can find some opening.
Oh, in your blind experience.
I must try to gain experience.
To forsake your home, your husband, and your children. Do not consider what the world will say. Nor can you really forsake your holiest duties in this way.
And what do you call my holiest duties?
Do you really ask me that? Nor your duties to your husband and your children.
I have other duties equally as sacred.
Oh, nonsense. What duties could you possibly be referring to?
My duties towards myself.
My dear, before all else, you are a wife and a mother.
That I no longer believe. Before all else, I am a human being, just as much as you are. Or at least I will try to become one.
Nora, what about your religion? Yes, very well, if religion cannot save you, well, perhaps I can appeal to your conscience, for I assume that you still have some type of moral feeling. Well, tell me, perhaps you have not.
I have the moral feeling that a woman has the right to spare her dying father and save her husband's life.
You talk like a child. You don't understand the society in which you live.
No, I don't. But I will try to. And then I will decide which is right. Society or I.
You guys can see how beautiful the Fountain Room is at the Biedenhauer Museum and Gardens, and that institution co-presented A Doll's House. And you know, the costuming, oh my gosh, that is by Ulrich Art Designs. Ruth Ulrich did such a beautiful job of hand making every single thing for the people that were in that show. Now, I have to mention again, tune in next Sunday, March 7th at 7 p.m. to the Classic CA YouTube channel, and you will see A Doll's House.
Absolutely. And if I could just add this, Miss Kathy, because, what's really interesting about that play is that the dialogue in that play is different from how we speak in today's society. But I think Ann and Sam did a great job of just, even if you didn't understand what they were saying, because I had the honor of going to see the performance myself, you definitely understood what was happening in the show, just because of the emotion and how they were interpreting the text. So I just wanted to add that there.
Right. Thank you. I thought they did a lovely job as well.
Absolutely.
So, Tyler, it's your responsibility to introduce the old lady. Okay.
All right, let's do it. The next performance was inspired by Edgar Allan Poe's The Mask of the Red Death, an interview with 10-year-old Lennon Johns of West Monroe. In a fit of anger after isolating for what seemed like years in the summer of 2020, Kathy Earhart Webb wrote the poem In the Room. And Miss Kathy, can you tell us anything about it before we take it?
All right. So I was furious, right? But I was trying to do anything creative I could think of. And God bless you, Charles Pridgeon. And I got a chance to talk to Lennon Johns. And Lennon and I discussed The Mask of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe. And we discussed the fact that Lennon loved this mask of a plague doctor. And we talked about masks. We talked about the pandemic. And I thought to myself, I really want to put some of this material into a creative piece. Well, this is the result.
The Mask of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe. The Red Death had long devastated the country. No pestilence had ever been so fatal or so hideous. There were sharp pains and sudden dizziness, and then profuse bleeding that marked the victims and shut them out from the aid and sympathy of their fellow citizens. The whole progress of the disease lasted about half an hour, but Prince Prospero was very happy and dauntless, and he summoned to his court 1,000 light-hearted friends, and with these retired to one of his castles.
The tall band holds fast in a good hope, this day in a castle strong, shut in by a gate. With a steel rope, he's certain that his chance is long. The party's so lively, a big shout. The boss walks his way through the den. He's certain the danger is shut out. He's certain the good is shut in. Danger out, good in. The light of this room shows a new red, a trap that we couldn't foretell. He dies with the thought that he's not dead. We die with the thought we're in hell. The big man holds fast to a doomed hope. This day in a castle strong, kept in by gates with a steel rope. No thought that his choice may be wrong. It's the air in the room. If we breathe air in the room. It's the air. If we breathe air in the room. So
Great job on that, Miss Kathy.
Oh man, y'all, that was so. I was playing the vulnerable old lady, and I think I nailed it. Don't you? Yeah, you got it.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so D.H. Clark mastered that with Max Music, and so it was so much fun to just get to do and get it out of my system. You know how it goes. So, guys, we're getting close to the end here, and it's very hard to know how to end a program like this. But there were two performances that stuck out to me that I thought would be wonderful to end with, and one of them is a new friend whom I don't know personally, but I'm so glad to get to know online. Her name is Carolyn Rivera, and she lives in Grapevine, Texas. Hails from Fayetteville, and she's trained in theater and music at Queen's University. And she said in the pandemic, she's learned to make 6-layer rainbow cake for her family, and she's picked up the ukulele. Now, this is the result, and it's a beautiful, beautiful ode. She says, "This is for Dad, you tone-deaf fool." So this is Carolyn Rivera with Fare Thee Well.
If I had wings like Noah's dove, I'd fly up the river to the one I love. Fare thee well, my honey. Fare thee well. The man I love is long and tall. He moves his body like a cannonball. Fare thee well, my honey. Fare thee well. Early one morning in the pouring rain, and in my heart I felt an aching pain. Fare thee well, my honey. Fare thee well. One of these mornings, it won't be long, you'll call my name and I'll be gone. Fare thee well, I fly up the river to the one I love. Oh, fare thee well, my honey. Fare thee well.
All right, Caroline Rivera. Let's give a hand for her.
Beautiful. Love that.
Well, you know what they say, Miss Kathy and Vanessa and Charles, all good things must come to an end, and we are coming towards the end of the show now. We are going to end things with someone I know to be a CA Studio regular, and I've had the pleasure of working alongside him in many CA Studio productions. This is Lee Jones from Lidville, Louisiana. Did I say that right? Is it Liddyville?
Liddyville.
Liddyville, okay. And he is going to close us out tonight with the monologue from the play we were working in March of 2020, where it was with Shakespeare in Love, correct, Miss Kathy?
Right, it was. Yeah. And he plays Richard. He was working on Richard Burbage, the famous Elizabethan theater producer. And it's important that he ends the show because Richard Burbage is gonna produce our bust, and that's exactly the way we feel about doing live theater again.
Absolutely. And before we toss things over to Lee Jones, it's worth noting here that he videoed this while his power was out, Miss Kathy, in the recent snow and cold weather that Louisiana had a couple of weeks ago, and obviously is not accustomed to, as we found out. And Lee, as theater producer Richard Burbage in Shakespeare in Love. Take a look.
Hold, enemies, brothers, lend me your ears. We may indeed be rivals in art, but we are jointly despised as vagrants, tinkers, peddlers of bombast, which, in my case, might be true. But gentlemen, my father, James Burbage, had the first license to form a company of players, and he drew from all the poets of the age. Their fame will be our fame. So let them all know, we are men of parts. We are a fraternity, and we will be a profession. Will Shakespeare has a play. I have a theater. To be frank, the posters are already posted. Damn the Lord Chamberlain, the curtain is yours.
Oh man, I love that monologue. Thank you, Lee. And thank you all for coming out. And there's Scooter.
Yes. Miss Kathy, you didn't bring Junebug.
I know, Junebug's asleep. She wouldn't get up. She wouldn't make her cue. So, so next time for Junebug. Thank you all, and God bless you. And we will be back together in person soon, hopefully without mask. Yeah.
Hey, Miss
Kathy, hold on one second. Hold on one second, Kathy. If you wish to make a donation to CA Studio.
All right. Yeah.
Miss Kathy, for the opportunity and allowing me to not only host tonight, but also just the past few years. It's really been an honor. And Charles, for putting all this together, for pulling all the strings tonight. We've done this without you. Vanessa, it was a pleasure meeting you and your family tonight, too.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We're muted. So, all right. So we're out of here. Next show, guys. Strike ought to be easy.
See ya.
See you guys.